Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about something really exciting, Kidder Mask related. And yes, it's making a comeback, but it's not making a comeback from Hasbro. It's not making a comeback from any company I would have guessed, but it's actually making a comeback with the Loyal Subjects. Now, this is something that is quite interesting. Loyal Subjects makes the best AXN figures. We will talk about that. They make some TMNT and some other stuff, but it's making a comeback. They are going to make it sounds like exactly like the original, but we don't know everything yet. We don't know all the details, but I have some wild speculation that I want to go into. And as I've already reviewed the entire toy line on this channel, I have everything vintage Kidder Mask. I'm still really excited. I'll tell you why coming up. I really do believe that Loyal Subjects is most known for their TMNT line, and yeah, they're one of 4 or 5 people making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What I liked about it was originally they were like $17.99, so $18 for about a 5-inch figure. It's not a full 6-inch figure. It's definitely not in the Super 7 or NECA range with the 7-inch figures. But they look okay. They look pretty good. They're not the highest quality out there, but they're definitely not terrible figures. They are decent figures, and they all look pretty good. And as time has progressed, their figures have gotten to look better and better and better, which the most recent ones they put out I really like. They're also not afraid to take risks, which is kind of cool. They do make some different recolors of figures that you just don't see everybody do, but still at a lower price point, it's a little bit easier than some of the more expensive figures. These, for whatever reason, seem to be a little more expensive, but I've found them, and to find them at retail is really exciting. The fact that this is at retail and it's a decent price point is the best part of Best AXN. Will I say they're better than NECA? Will I say they're better than Super 7? No. Are they cheaper? For the most part, yes. So what exactly is the news that came out about this on September 9th? This technically broke on the day my news went up, and I didn't even see it till today. So I was a day late and $1 short on this one, but still, nothing's really getting put out yet. There's no pre-orders, but the Loyal Subjects signed a deal with Hasbro to bring back legacy brands including Mask, Gem, My Pet Monster. Wow, you're talking very expensive My Pet Monsters. Hopefully they're reasonably priced, and hopefully they have all the same stuff as the vintage. ROM figures, and we're not talking one ROM figure. We're not talking one and done like what Hasbro does with their Marvel Legends, what they've already done with Crystar. So this gets me excited. Could they do Crystar too? I mean, I'd be all in 100% on a Crystar line also. But right here, we're talking about masks. Shown below via toybook.com, it has been revealed that the Loyal Subjects inked a deal with Hasbro that will allow them to produce a host of legacy brands, including all of these. My buddy. Now, there's a lot of questions swirling around about it, but it has been already reproved that they're going to be using the original artwork design, probably on boxes. It's going to have closed box, and I think I actually have that here too. Closed box design, original amazing artwork. So it's going to have boxes kind of like these, and it's going to be the original figures, the original vehicles. Let's go ahead and read that part of the press release. Mask has all the crazy features, vehicles, and small figures with removable helmets, closed box packaging with that killer logo, splash, artwork, and product shots. All coming back. They're in the same scale, and we're serving it hot and fresh like 85 never left. See, this is the Loyal Subjects CEO, Jonathan Cathy? He was quoted saying this. This is exciting. It's going to come back exactly like it was back in the day, but it still leaves a few questions. Will all of the vehicles still have all the same gimmicks? So that's the first question. Will all of the vehicles have the spring-loaded mechanisms? It's very complex. They were very, very complex vehicles from back in the day. Will they re-engineer them to be something different? Because I do believe that there's no molds left from this. These are gone, long gone, in my opinion. And you think, well, Playmates still has a lot of theirs, but that's because Playmates owns their own factory, and they kept their molds. For the most part, they didn't keep them all, though. They didn't keep them all. But Kenner has been dissolved, it's gone, and Hasbro didn't even keep their own molds for a lot of things, and they had to re-engineer it. So these will be all re-engineered from the ground up. They could be re-engineered better, but probably not. Also, they could just follow in Hasbro's footsteps and put out some very rudimentary versions. Now, this is my screenshot, which is low res. I'm sorry, but I have reviewed the entire Vortex toy line, and this came out in 1996, and these were really, they were cheaper options to Kinners and very similar. Some of these are almost exact ripoffs of Kinner, but they felt cheap. They were the same size, same scale, and everything like that. Packaged similarly, except that some of them did have the blister pack, which Kinner did not use for vehicles back in the day, only for the figures. And with that, this is probably the route they're going to go. They might go this route where there's less internal mechanisms, more you actually just have to open stuff yourself. That might possibly be how they go. But then, would that be a fail if you don't have the push button action on all of these? Possibly. So there's a lot of questions. I'm curious how they do it. I'm curious how they go. See, Ramen Toys already made sort of something similar to this. Now, it's their own line. It's Machina Laboratories. It's not branded as Mask. But I want to say that they made a similar type of item that is very complex and a high level of engineering, and it carries a premium price because it's a very premium product. They did a fantastic job with this. But there's a couple of drawbacks. First of all, you're not getting 6 or 7 or 8 different vehicles and sets a year. It's kind of feeling like you're getting like one a year, is about how that's going. The other thing is the price point makes it to where you probably can't collect them all. And if they did put out 6, 7, or 8 in a year, it would be financially straining on people to collect them at the price point. But I'm loving what they did, and I'm still going to be picking up everything Ramen Toy makes. But this is a premium that not everybody can afford. The next question is, does this open it up, since they're going to make the same figures with the masks, and they're going to be making all of the vehicles? Well, we don't know how many vehicles yet. Does it open up to making these figures 2-packs with the original artwork and the original card backs? Does it open that avenue up? And does it open up avenue to make the different color variations and all that kind of stuff? See, they've sort of done extra cool stuff like that with the TMNT line when they put some recolor figures out and some little alternative versions of Turtles, alternative versions of Rocksteady and Bebop, and all of that. Same as NECA and all of them have done, but with someone officially having a license and it being at retail and putting something out that's like $10. Dude, if this was out for $10, I'd be buying 3 of every one of these. And I'd be excited. I want to credit for these collection videos that I'm going to be showing here. This is albertpinello.com. Mask, try to link that down below for you. That is the resource I've been using since 2012, and fantastic resource. Probably the best on the internet. But anyway, getting back into it, I'd love to see these figures at retail. The other question we kind of get into is the box art, and yes, it already says that they're going to be using the amazing box art and pretty much saying the splash and everything the same as what they did before. So I expect it to look a lot like the original, if not exactly like the original, just very, very, very close to the original artwork. Closed box, and I'm okay with closed box when it comes to the fact that if it was closed box in vintage, then it's going to be closed box now. But there's a bigger reason I'm more excited that they're more or less going to copy the vintage packaging and artwork. So here are packaging listings. Box only. Now, granted, the seller might be shooting for the stars. You might be able to offer half or a third of what the seller's asking and might negotiate it down. I'm not saying to do that. I am saying I've dealt with this seller before. So it's not, he's a really good dude and pretty reasonable, but these prices are pretty high for just boxes. So anyhow, looking at this, I'm excited to be able to go buy a retail version of a vehicle and a figure with the original style box. That would be good enough for me. Good enough for you, and well, maybe good enough for me, maybe not good enough for you. You kind of have to ask yourself, though, how deep will this go? Because they made 4 series, and I think I counted something around 40 vehicles that were made, something along those lines. I should have an exact number. You'd think I would, as much of these videos I've made for Mask, but it actually has been a while since I've made a Mask video. But how deep are they going to go? Well, I got some stats based on my YouTube videos on the popularity of the later series. Been playing around with my analytics because I'm going to be making a video about the analytics on this channel, but it's on my other finance channel. But with this here, I do want to point out that Series 1 is vastly more popular than Series 4 or even the Laser Command. And if you look, there's 170,000 views on Series 1, meaning that that is the series that has the most iconic vehicles, what most people remember, what were featured most predominantly in the cartoon series for the longest span of time, and a lot of people just dropped off from collecting masks, and the show wasn't aired in the same time slot, and the availability of the show went away. And as the series went on to Series 4, as you can see, it dropped down to 43,000 in views, meaning, yes, some of the original ones were up longer, and I had Series 1 up during 2020 when we had that problem. But looking at this, as you can see, the further down we go, the deeper we get into the Kid or Mass toy line, the less interest there is in views. And I will go on a limb and say the less interest there is in purchasing these at retail. Which is really sad, because I absolutely love the Series 4 split second stuff. Some people hate it. I love it. I had a whole lot of fun with it. I like the whole concept and idea of it. I feel like you're getting a lot more value because you get two figures in there. One's a clear, just copy of the original figure, which is a cool idea. Kidder came up with a lot of cool stuff back in the day, but I would love to see this line thrive deep enough to get these. So I'm just curious how many of you are as excited about this as I am. Would you be all in on an entire line of masks from Best AX in? Do you think they're going to have all of the gimmicks in there that we want? Will it actually have the push button, spring action, stuff that's going on in there? Will the electronics be included in the ones with electronics? Will they go that far with it? Will it be more like a Vortex line? Nobody really knows, but I'm curious what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and tell your hanger out.